The message of despaired stars had gone silent. Ships from the planet Rilek flew into deep space, damaged and fleeing. Their glowing engines flickered. Their shields were broken. Fires spread through many of them. These were not warships. These were escape vessels, and the Rilek people inside were terrified. They had once ruled a strong part of the galaxy. They had colonies, fleets, allies, but now they ran from something. Something that had no name, something that destroyed without speaking. The leader of the remaining Rilek ships, a man named Laro, sent a wide signal, a plea for help. His voice shook as he spoke. This is Laro of Rilek. To any who can hear, we beg for mercy, we beg for help. Our worlds are burning, our fleets have gone, please. If anyone is out there, save us. For 2 days, there was only silence. Then came a reply, a single transmission. No picture, no name, just words in an old trade language. Your message was received. Earth has heard. The crew inside the Rilek command ship looked at each other. Earth, that small blue world, Death World class. Dangerous, yes, but long ignored. Humans kept to themselves. They had not joined the Galactic Union. They refused to sit on councils or form alliances. Now they were coming. Some Rilek officers whispered among themselves, could humans really help? Or would they come to take what was left? We asked for mercy, one of them muttered. Let's hope Earth doesn't bring the opposite. Far away, in a hidden section of space, Earth's fleet began to move. The ships were dark grey, built with harsh angles and strange weapons. No music played, no pride was spoken, only orders. Inside the command bridge of Earth's lead battleship, a woman stood. Her face was calm, but her eyes burned with silent rage. We have their coordinates, she said. Set course. No one questioned her. Across the fleet, the word spread. Mercy was asked. Fury will be given. Back near the Rilek refugees, Laro watched stars move. Something was coming. The long-range sensors picked up ships, big ones fast, unmarked. Then a voice came through again. This time, it was clearer. This is Earth Command. Your message was received. Stand by. The Rilek crew fell silent. Laro stood still. The stars were changing. Earth's warships had entered the system. They didn't come slow. They came like a storm. Thousands of them. No warnings. No greetings. Just firepower and focus. And behind them came something else. Something worse than ships. Humans. Asterisk. The Deathworlders, a river of Rilek ships, floated in silence as the humans approached. Earth's fleet didn't flash their lights. No music played. No banners were shown. There was only the sound of the Rilek. Scanners warning, again and again, that something powerful was coming, and then they arrived. Dark. Heavy ships moved with exact timing, not wasting a single motion. Their hulls were scarred with burn marks, not polished like Union vessels. These ships looked like they had survived many battles and enjoyed them. The lead human ship stopped near the Rilek command ship. A message flashed through the comms. Do not fear. Earth stands with the weak. Inside his control room, Laro didn't know how to respond. He looked at his crew. Open a channel. He stood tall, trying to hide the fear in his voice. This is Laro of Rilek. We thank you. Humans, we asked for mercy. We are hunted, killed, burned alive. Please. Will you protect us? For a moment, there was no answer. Then the human voice returned, calm, cold, final. You asked for mercy. But Earth remembers the ones who never got the chance to beg. No one understood what that meant. Then the humans sent data coordinates, plans, orders. The hunt was beginning. While the Rilek tried to repair their ships, Earth's fleet moved without rest. They didn't ask questions. They didn't hold meetings. They moved like wolves that had finally found the scent of blood. And when they found the attackers, the creatures that had burned Rilek worlds, the response was fast. Very fast. On a planet named Turner 4, the enemy was building another forward base. They had no name, only strange symbols. Tall, sharp creatures with no mouths and blades for arms. They didn't talk. They didn't stop. They didn't show mercy. Until now, no one had stopped them. But today, the sky burned with fire. The humans arrived with silence. Then the bombs fell. Precision strikes hit command towers, weapon systems, power cores. Not a single shot missed Earth's. Ships moved like they had fought these enemies for decades. Even though this was their first meeting, the creatures screamed in strange sound. They tried to respond, but their weapons were already gone. Then came the drop pods, steel cylinders, rained from orbit. They slammed into the ground, cracking the Earth dot from inside. The human soldiers came out tall, armored in black and red, faces hidden behind smooth helmets, moving without fear. They were not like normal Union troops. These humans were trained. On a death world, they were death worlders. And they showed no kindness. On the Rilek bridge, Lara watched the battle live on his screen. His crew gasped. Some couldn't believe it. The enemy wasn't just being defeated, they were being erased. In less than an hour, Turnifor was empty of life. Not a single enemy remained. Not a single human had fallen. Lara looked at the map. They answered our call. An officer whispered behind him, "No, this is vengeance." The fury on the Turnifor was gone. The fires still burned across the ruins. Nothing remained standing. No enemy signals, no survivors. Just silence, but Earth didn't stop. While the Rilek was still recovering from the shock of what they'd seen, Earth's fleet had already jumped to the next target. Planet after planet, base after base, the same thing happened. Sudden arrival, total destruction, no negotiation. The humans were not fighting a war, they were delivering judgment. On board the Earth command ship, a man in dark armor studied a massive screen filled with red dots. Each dot was an enemy stronghold. His voice was low, steady. Send units to all forward targets, full sweep, leave nothing behind. Beside him, a young officer asked quietly, "Sir, what if some surrender?" The commander turned to face him. His eyes were cold. Mercy was offered once, long ago. Earth remembers who burned our colonies when we had no voice in the stars. The officer said nothing else. The Rilek were allowed to follow from a distance. Lara, sitting on his repaired ship, stared at the battle footage pouring in. His crew no longer spoke during the briefings. They just watched. On one world, the enemy had built bunkers deep underground. Earth sent in burrow torpedoes. Each torpedo slammed into the crust, drilled fast, and exploded from inside. The enemy didn't even have time to scream. On another moon, the enemy used living shields, creatures stolen from conquered planets. The human soldiers did not shoot. Instead, they dropped nerve fog, a harmless cloud for organic life, but deadly to anything with synthetic armor. The hostages survived. The enemy died. Lara leaned forward, stunned. They planned for everything. They're not saving the galaxy, one officer said softly. They're punishing it. On the third week of the campaign, a change came. One of the enemy leaders, tall, silver-skinned, strange blue light flowing through his chest, sent a message, a simple one. Stop. That was all. The humans did not stop. Instead, Earth responded with a video recorded by a drone in orbit. It showed a human child, alone in the ruins of a colony. Her arms were burned, her breath weak. She whispered the name of her father over and over. Behind her, the ashes of an entire town glowed red. The drone had recorded it 2 years ago. The enemy didn't even remember the attack. But Earth did. And now the galaxy saw what Earth had never forgotten. Even some Rilek officers began to feel fear. They're not just saving us, one said. They're making a point, a message written in fire. Lara didn't answer, because he knew it was true. The Galaxy Watch's news of Earth's campaign spread like a storm across the galaxy. Systems that had once ignored Earth now paid close attention. Space stations paused their broadcasts to show battle recordings. Council halls echoed with silence as diplomats watched worlds burn under Earth's firepower. No declarations, no warnings. Just vengeance, fast and cold. The enemy once feared now fled. They jumped to distant systems, hiding in asteroid fields, moving silently through deep space. But Earth followed them. Every time they appeared, Earth's scanners picked them up. Every time they hid, Earth flushed them out. There was no escape. On the Rilek command ship, Lara met with other species that had come to observe the humans. A reptilian elder spoke first. They are efficient. Too efficient, a small insectoid. Diplomat added, this level of response, it is not justice. It is fury. Lara stood quietly at the head of the room. He had heard the same words before. Many species had watched the Rilek beg for help when their own worlds had burned. Most had turned away. Now Earth had come. But Earth did not bring comfort. I think they warned us, Lara said. Many years ago. The room went quiet. Then, the screen lit up again. This time, it wasn't a battle. It was a planet dark, cold, barely habitable. A lone enemy ship had crashed there, carrying one of their last leaders. Earth's fleet arrived in minutes, but instead of bombs or bullets, they dropped satellites. Each satellite sent a message on every frequency, in every known language. It said only this: "You begged for mercy." Earth brings memory. The enemy leader desperate attempted to contact Earth's command ship. "I surrender," it said. "We have lost. Spare us." The human commander listened quietly. And replied. Earth remembers the worlds where no surrender was offered. Then the signal cut. Moments later, the planet disappeared in a blinding explosion. No nuclear glow, no firestorm. It simply vanished. The weapon had a name, Oblivion Lance, and this was its first use. Back in the Rilek system, many species began to whisper. Some called Earth protectors, some called them monsters, but all agreed on one thing: Earth had changed. They no longer asked to be heard. They no longer asked to join. They had come to speak with action. That night, Laro stood alone in his cabin, watching the stars. He remembered the message Earth had sent first: "You asked for mercy." Earth remembers. Now he understood. Humanity had waited for a long time. And now, they were delivering justice their own way. Echoes of vengeance in a dark corner of the galaxy. A once powerful war council met in secret. The leaders of several species, those who had once ignored Earth, mocked it, or even voted to isolate it, now looked at each other with growing dread. "They've gone too far," one said. "We must stop them," said another. But no one moved, because the truth was clear. No one could. Meanwhile, Earth's fleets kept moving. They no longer responded to messages. They no longer explained their actions. They had become a force, like gravity or time, something unstoppable. On the moons of Galtrin, the enemy had built research labs, creating weapons from stolen DNA. Earth didn't even wait for confirmation. They targeted the labs and fired precision strikes from orbit. No risk to civilians, no mistakes. Just clean, fast destruction. Even Rilek officers, who had once begged for Earth's help, now began to feel uneasy. Are they planning to stop? One asked. Laro didn't answer. He had begun to understand something. Earth was not just punishing an enemy. They were sending a message to the galaxy. In deep space, a small outpost picked up an unusual signal. It was from a human ship unmanned. The outpost's commander opened the message, expecting threats or warnings. Instead, it showed a recording. The human colony, burning, craters across its surface, children running, no soldiers, no weapons. Just people trying to survive. The attackers were the same enemy Earth now hunted. The attackers had laughed. And the message ended with these words: "We remember." That message was repeated across thousands of satellites. Earth was not hiding its reason. They were showing it again and again. One planet, far from the war zones, tried to send a warning to Earth. "We were neutral. We never took sides." Earth's reply came quickly. "Then you watched, and you stayed silent." That planet went dark 3 days later. Inside the Earth command ship, the crew gathered around a large screen. The commander looked at them. No speeches, no inspiration. Just a command. "Next system." Full response. They nodded. No one hesitated. Because each of them remembered something. A lost friend, a burned colony, a cry that had gone unheard. And now, they made sure no one would forget. Back on the Rilek ship, Laro stared at the stars. They begged for mercy, he whispered, and Earth gave them memory. The words echoed through his mind. He knew the war was not over, but something bigger had already changed. The galaxy would never ignore Earth again. When mercy ceased, the stars grew quieter with each passing day, not because peace had come, but because fear had. The enemy, once proud and untouchable, had scattered like shadows. Their strongholds lay in ruins, their fleets shattered. Their leaders hunted. Earth did not slow down. They didn't rest. They didn't stop. In one system, an enemy world surrendered before Earth's ships arrived. They broadcasted messages, opened their ports, even laid down weapons. Earth's fleet still entered orbit. The lights dimmed across the cities below. One final transmission came from Earth's command: "There is no surrender," from those who showed none. Then came silence, and after that, nothing. Across the galaxy, debates broke out. Councils panicked. Academies rushed to rewrite history. News feeds couldn't stop the streams of battle footage and destruction. On neutral worlds, civilians whispered rumors. "Don't cross the Deathworlders. Earth never forgets." Mercy died the day Earth stood up. Some even began calling Earth's soldiers by a new name. The iron silence. Because when they arrived, they spoke nothing. And left only ruin. In a hidden chamber on the Rilek flagship, Laro met with Earth's ambassador, a soldier in black armor, face hidden. Behind a mask. You've done what no one thought possible, Laro said. You brought justice to those monsters, but when will it end? The human didn't reply right away. Finally, he said, when every child can sleep without fire in the sky. When no voice goes unheard, when memory becomes a warning, Laro asked, softly, and until then, the voice behind the mask was quiet, cold. Until then, we remember for all of you. In orbit around a dying star, the last known enemy fleet tried to hide. Earth found them in hours. A swarm of ships dropped in dozens, then hundreds. The enemy, knowing what would come, tried to send a single word, mercy. The humans didn't answer. Instead, they released the Black Cloud's hunter drones, silent machines that spread through the vacuum, tearing metal like paper. The enemy fleet didn't even get to fire back. In 30 minutes, not a single ship remained aboard the Earth flagship. The commander watched it all. He turned to his officers. Mark. The system, burned, forgotten. One officer raised a hand. Sir. We've cleared most of their space. There's not much left. The commander nodded. Then we begin the second phase. No one knew what that meant. Not yet. But the galaxy would soon find out, because Earth's fury wasn't done. It was only evolving. Asterisk. Earth's new Loth war was over, but Earth's fleet didn't return home. They spread out across space, silent and watchful, orbiting old battlefields, floating above planets that had once ignored the cries of the weak. No longer an army but a warning. They didn't demand tribute. They didn't build empires. They simply remained, and everywhere they stayed, peace followed. A year later, the galaxy looked different. The old powers of the Union were quiet now. Their pride crushed, their fleets small, their voices soft in council meetings. The name Earth no longer brought laughter or pity. It brought silence and respect. On the Rilek homeworld, once burned and broken, life returned. Cities were being rebuilt. Farms worked again. Children laughed. Laro stood on a balcony, watching new ships rise into the sky. He had been offered a place on Earth's council, but he had refused. He only wished to see his people rise again. A message came to his terminal. Simple, as always. This is Earth Command. You are not alone. We remain. Watch, listen. Laro smiled slightly. They never forget, he whispered. Not pain, not silence, not promises. In another system, a pirate force rose, thinking. The Deathworlders had gone. They raided a trade convoy. The next day, Earth's fleet arrived. They did not reply to the pirates' calls. They didn't send threats. They ended it. A single ship launched an attack so precise, so sudden, that the pirates vanished before they could blink. Not even the stars flickered. No remains drifted. It was clean. Final. Just like before. The galaxy learned, and it remembered. A decade later, a young student asked her elder, why did Earth bring such fire? Why not forgive, like others? The elder answered, because Earth came from fire. And when no one listened, they spoke with what the stars could never ignore. The girl asked, will they ever stop? The elder looked up at the night sky. No, he said softly, because somewhere, someone still thinks silence is power. And Earth listens now. Earth remembers. On Earth, no statues were built. No leaders claimed credit. No songs were sung of glory. Just one plaque in a quiet garden. It read, they begged for mercy. We remembered. We responded. Let it never be needed again. Asterisk.